guys, check this out. Okay, Steph. So you let me know when I'm ready to go.
All right. So I'm gonna hold it right here.
Okay.
You're gonna want to like slide over a little bit.
Cool.
And on the count of 3, we're just gonna twist and turn and then strike right through the middle.
All right, here we
All
go.
right, ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Yeah!
And just like that, we are back with another episode of Upward and Onward. We are joined by a special guest, someone who is very selfless, a great all-around person. She is the program director and instructor at Mastery Martial Arts. She is the president of the Cranston Rotary Club and the face behind the scenes for the Rhody Adventures Instagram. Stephanie, welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me, Ollie.
I appreciate you having the time to join us and then also bringing this board so we could break it. That felt so good. Mm-hmm. So do you do that often?
We do, yes.
Okay.
So at Mastery Martial Arts, we practice board breaking with our students.
Okay.
And obviously, like, it feels great.
Ooh.
You just experienced it.
That was a thrill. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I feel great.
It's empowering.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Well, thank you for taking the time to join us. And I think what will be helpful for the people who are watching and listening is to get a sense of who you are and your background.
Yeah, of course. So, hey, I'm Steph Lemoi. My full name's Stephanie, but you can call me Steph. And I grew up in Rhode Island. Ollie and I actually know each other because we went to school together way back when.
That's right.
Middle school, high school, and it's still nice to be connected now in our adult lives.
Yes.
It's crazy that we're adulting.
Oh, how did that happen? I feel
Right.
like it was just like a couple years ago when we were just in high school, not many stakes, just like no responsibilities, and here we are now. Mm-hmm. Jeez, time flies. Well, nevertheless, I'm happy that we are here together, and thank you for taking the time. So, thanks for introducing yourself and giving us a little bit about your background. I'm curious about your college experience. You went to Rhode Island College, right?
I did.
Cool.
Yes.
What'd you study?
Anchorman. Go Anchorman.
Hey.
I went into college after we graduated high school in 2014, and I was one of those students who didn't quite know what they wanted to do and felt the pressure to go to college. I'm thankful that I did it and got it done. Looking back, though, I probably would have made a different decision if, hindsight's always 20/20. But my first few years, I studied just gen eds, got all the basics out of the way. And then I decided to pursue business. And the only reason I picked business was because I couldn't decide on a major.
Is that right?
And I figured business can be applicable to anything.
Yeah.
And I chose business marketing.
Interesting. So that was the motivation to study business marketing in college. Now, through studying business marketing, has it been influential in your career and any professional choices that you've made?
I would say so, yes.
Yeah.
Marketing, like you said, you can apply it towards anything,
Yeah.
regardless of business or personal life, or even if it's philanthropical.
That's right.
When basically marketing, it's like getting your name out there, getting your brand out there, people to know who you are, what you do, why you do it, and that applies no matter where you go.
That's right. That's right. Totally correct. Thanks for sharing about your college experience and your background. Now, you are the program director and instructor at Mastery Martial Arts. How did you get started with martial arts and teaching and all that?
Long story. I'll try to keep it short,
Okay.
so we're not here for hours. But I started training at Mastery Martial Arts when I was in elementary school.
Okay.
We're going to throw back a friend's name here,
Let's hear
and
it.
hopefully she'll watch this and then be reminded of how awesome she is. Jen Giswaldi.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember Jen?
I do remember
Of course,
Jen.
Can't forget Jen.
Yeah.
I went to her birthday party in 5th grade, and she had it at the name of the school back then was East West Martial Arts, or East West Black Belt Academy. And at that time in my life, I didn't really feel connected to any other sport. Like I wasn't a dance girl. I didn't want to do cheerleading. I didn't want to do softball, basketball, whatever. I just wasn't interested.
Yeah.
But I went to her birthday party, loved Jen, but also fell in love with martial arts. I was like, Mom and Dad, like this is the thing that I want to do.
Yeah.
And I think I broke a board that day,
Okay.
and I might have gotten like a uniform or something. And I started my journey then, and I never looked back. I trained consistently from 5th grade all the way through high school. And during my training, my instructors had invited me to become a part of our instructor training program. But Ollie might remember in high school, I did 1,000,001 things.
Oh, yeah.
And
two.
and two. Add one. I never felt like I could dedicate myself to it fully, so I put it off. And then after high school, you kind of reach a crossroads. I feel like a lot of people do in life. What do I do for work? What do I want to do? What's my next step?
Yep.
And I did choose college, like I mentioned before, but I also knew that I loved martial arts and I wanted to continue training and give back and help others. So at that time was when I decided to start teaching. That was 2014.
Okay.
And so I went through our instructor training program while I was in college. So classes, you know, in college from 8 to like 2 or 8 to 4.
Yeah.
I would go right to mastery afterwards, work, teach classes, help out on the mats, you know, do business work, whatever had to get done. And when I finished college in 2018, again, you know, at a crossroads, what am I going to do?
Yep.
And I saw my friends getting 9-to-5 jobs, sitting in offices. Was that an option? Yes. Is it good for some people? Yes. But for my lifestyle, I'm very high energy. I love to work with people. I knew that I wanted to have like a bigger purpose and giving back and doing something that I love. So I stuck with mastery, and now it's my full-time career. And I've been rocking and rolling ever since. And we just opened up our studio in Barrington in September of this year. Yeah.
Very exciting. Congrats.
Thank you so much.
So cool. And I know that the children that you work with, and adults, right? Are there adults there who take classes as well, or is it just children?
We're mainly a children's program.
Okay.
Some of our schools are family-based, though, so like adults can take classes with their kids.
Okay. Well, I know that the students that you have there definitely enjoy their time. With you being so high energy and just a great person, I can only imagine the fun that they have, because I just had a lot of fun just breaking one board, but I can only imagine for a kid who gets a chance to go to Stephanie's class, the enjoyment that you have. So thank you for doing all that you do.
Of course.
Yeah. Now, you said that you guys break boards, but what else do you teach over at Mastery?
So obviously martial arts.
Yeah.
We want our students to have a solid foundation. We teach Taekwondo and Jeet Kune Do, which is Bruce Lee's style of martial arts, which is pretty cool for Bruce Lee's fans out there watching.
Hey.
So, you know, having a solid foundation in martial arts and being able to protect themselves and feeling sure of themselves. But the other half to Mastery, which makes us really unique, is the life skills that we teach in our program and the leadership skills that we teach in our program.
Which are, what exactly? I'm curious for the life skills and the leadership skills.
So we have 6 life skills that we teach. Through a calendar year, we rotate through them in cycles. And they're discipline, belief, communication, respect, honesty, and self-esteem.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but if anyone would know, I guess it'd be you, right?
I got it.
You got it. That's
many years of training.
Oh, I can only imagine. That's really cool. Now, you mentioned that there typically are children who are the people taking classes. Now, creating a safe space for those children, and I know it's probably hard for some to get out of their shell a little bit, maybe to be a little bit vulnerable and just have themselves be in a place where they can learn and have fun. Can you talk to how you create a nice environment for people to do exactly that?
I love this question, especially nowadays, because I feel like a lot of kids can be nervous when trying new things, especially like post-pandemic. The idea of like stepping outside of your comfort zone in a place that you don't know anyone, you might not have any friends yet, you don't know what it looks like. We want to make sure everyone feels comfortable and included.
Yeah.
And so our classes are open to all students ages 3 up to teenage years and all learning abilities. So the classes are mixed in terms of students that, you know, might be on the autism spectrum or have Down syndrome, different, you know, disabilities, whether, you know, we've had children that train that are in wheelchairs, and we make accommodations to make sure that they feel included and they're a part of the team. When it comes from day one, before we just like throw somebody into a class, we always start with an introductory lesson. So it's a private experience just for, like, let's say you, your kids, your family, and one of our instructors.
Okay.
So we go over all the basics, we set the tone, set up individualized goals for them, so this way they have like a clear mindset of what they are working on. And then when they hop into class, they know what to expect and they feel prepared and confident.
Nice. Super helpful. So for parents out there who might be watching or listening, is Mastery Martial Arts a place that you'd recommend for them to take their children to?
110%.
110%. I mean, you heard it here first. And you're going to sense of who Stephanie Lemoi is. She is, like I mentioned, selfless and all around a great person. So Mastery Martial Arts, Stephanie Lemoi, go check them out.
Much appreciated.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ollie.
Of course. Now, I'm curious. It's been almost 10 years since you've been working there, right?
Yes, almost 10 years.
Okay. So have you had any memorable experiences or things that you've witnessed, maybe a child who came in and they were a little shy or really had to work up to getting themselves to being a confident person, and you were able to help them with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's so many stories that I could share. For like privacy purposes, I won't mention any specific names, but we've had students that will come in and let's say they're extremely shy. You mentioned like confidence, and they're like hiding behind their parent's leg and like screaming and crying.
Yep.
And sometimes situations like that, parents will feel embarrassed. And I never want a parent to feel like that because it's normal, you know, when you start something new.
Yeah.
And to have a child go from being in that place to taking baby steps, like getting on the mat. You know, maybe their parents have to take a couple classes with them for them to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And then getting to a place where they can take the class without mom and dad by their side. And then they can get up in front of the class and perform.
Ooh.
And one of my favorite parts about Mastery is our leadership program.
Okay.
We actually we have a methodology that we've developed over the past 30 years, and it's helped kids to develop their communication and public speaking skills.
Nice.
Like, imagine going from a place where you're so shy to sitting in front of a microphone and talking in front of a camera.
That's right.
Or getting up in front of your class at school
Yeah.
and being able to introduce yourself and make new friends and give a presentation and be comfortable and confident in who you are.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite story. It was like seeing a child go from, you know, that super shy, freaked out, like tears running down their face to
help me,
to like 5 years down the road, like watching them at their black belt testing, and like they get up in front of the judges table and they're like ripping it like animalistic, you know, like
that is amazing.
And I cry, like, you know, I can't help but like have happy tears because that child's life has changed forever.
100%. So it sounds like going to Mastery Martial Arts, you learn much more than just self-defense, and you mentioned them, but I'm so happy that children have an outlet to really exercise those public speaking skills, those leadership skills, and learn from someone like you. So thank you for all the work that you're doing. Now, you mentioned the children getting their black belts. You also have your black belt?
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Oh, man. So nobody should mess with Stephanie. If you see her walking down the street and you want to pick a fight with somebody, Stephanie is not the one.
But I will protect you.
Okay. Well, that's
yes,
helpful.
I will protect you.
Thank you. Thank you for protecting.
Bodyguard.
Thank you so much. Oh, that's great. Now, we talked a little bit about what you've done in the past with Mastery Martial Arts. And just looking to the future, is there anything that excites you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So with our opening of our 7th location this year in Barrington, one of my coworkers, his name is Nick Hebert.
Okay.
He's going to be opening our 8th school in Coventry.
Wow.
Which is really exciting to be able to expand and service all areas in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
So that's coming up very soon. I love celebrating other people's growth because we're a really tight-knit team. We all grew up in the program together, training together, and seeing someone else like have that opportunity to make their dreams a reality and get to impact a new community is really exciting.
Super exciting. Super exciting. Really cool. Thank you for sharing about Mastery Martial Arts and all your experience there. And I want to talk about volunteering-related things that you do. You do a ton of volunteering in general, but there's been some specifics that have caught my eye. One of those being sponsoring a younger girl and helping her with just things in life. Can you talk to that a little bit?
Yeah. Cool. So the program that I sponsor the girl through is called Unbound.
Okay.
It's connected through the Catholic Church, so I found out about it by going to church.
Yeah.
And basically what you do is you provide monetary support every month. It's like between $30 to $40. Okay. And then you write letters to each other, so you're pen pals.
That's cool. That's super cool.
Yeah. So you get to connect with someone that's from, a foreign country, someone that lives in, like a third world area that, they don't have the luxuries of life like we do that we might take for granted. And so for them, it's providing support for like clean water and clothes and food for the family, transportation, educational resources. So, the money might go to like books or like pencils, papers, being able to get to school. And it goes, not only just helps that child, but it helps the whole family. So the company Unbound, they basically like empower the parents, and then they get to choose like what your money goes towards based on what they need.
I see.
In that specific month.
Interesting. Really, really great mission. Now, with having, a 9 to 5, the things that you do outside of 9 to 5, how do you balance incorporating volunteering with your busy schedule? Like, what motivates you and what keeps you going and keeps you wanting to engage with volunteer work? Yeah.
I ponder this question often because sometimes at the end of the day when my head hits the pillow, I am exhausted.
Yeah, I believe it.
But it's a fulfilling exhaustion.
Yeah.
I get this question a lot. It's like, Steph, where do you get all this energy from? Like, does your brain ever stop? Do you ever stop? The answer is no. And I definitely have this renewable energy source, but it's from a deeper purpose.
Yeah.
So like you asked, what's the reason why? What's the passion?
Yeah.
I still can't quite pinpoint it, but I think it's because I just want to help. I just want to help.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I believe
in
it.
some way, shape, or form, I feel like a pull. Like I can do better. I can do more. I can help this person.
Yeah.
And that's the drive every day. It's like, how can I give back? How can I be better, do more, help others reach their goals? How can we do it together?
Yes, together too. I love that. Thank you for doing that. Now, say there's someone out there listening right now and they're thinking to themselves, wow, volunteering is something that I really want to start doing more, but I'm not sure how to go about it. What advice would you give to someone thinking that?
In my experience, I think you should search for something that speaks to you. So, for example, after I finished college, I went, I didn't really have any volunteer work specifically at the time. And I have a best friend. Her name is Ashley Zanini. So she'll probably watch this. So shout out to Ashley. Ashley is a childhood cancer survivor. So she had leukemia when she was young. I believe it was between the ages of 4 and 6.
Okay.
And so over the years, I've attended events with her where, she'll give back to local foundations that give to, cancer research or support for families that have cancer. One of which locally is the Tomorrow Fund. And then we've also done fundraising with the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. So after college, I was thinking like, all right, what's my next thing? Like, how can I give back and do more? And I thought of her. I thought of those resources that she had when she was a kid.
Yeah.
And then I ended up doing a campaign for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. Yes.
Okay. Wow.
And so it was a fundraising campaign that raises awareness, and you get to put a team together. It's called Man and Woman of the Year. You get nominated for it, and then you're in like a 10-week sprint to fundraise as much as you can.
Love that.
And you get to give back and be a part of something bigger.
Yeah.
And that had a connection to me. So I did that and took that step because of my best friend Ashley, and because I knew it helped people like her, and it will help other people that are going through the same battle.
So important. So motivating and important. I am glad that I know someone like you who's willing to sacrifice some of your own time and think about other people. I want to also touch on you being the president of the Cranston Rotary Club. That is super cool.
Thank you.
Not for nothing. You're very young, and you're doing something that is impressive. Now, how'd you get started with that work?
So everything kind of like happens, sequentially.
Yeah.
After I finished my campaign for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society for Man and Woman of the Year, I came off of like a 10-week high. Like I was so focused, like go, like planning, fundraising, executing, onto the next event, planning, fundraising, executing, and then you celebrate, and then there's nothing on the books. And then I was then on the hunt for what can I do next.
Yep.
So I don't like to have downtime. I don't know if you can tell. So I was looking and searching, and one of my coworkers got involved in Rotary, and he said, hey, you should check this out. And so I did, and I went online and I did my research, and I found that Rotary is an international organization, although it did start in the United States, in Chicago, which is pretty cool.
Which is cool, yeah.
So U.S. founded, but now it's all over the world.
Wow.
I think there's over like 2 million or something Rotarians around the world.
Really?
And we have global initiatives that we work towards fundraising for, but then there is local roots. And so I found that there was clubs nearby, and I looked into the Providence Club, North Providence, there's a Metro Providence Club, and then I knew some people in Cranston, so I was like, hey, I'm going to reach out to the Cranston Club.
Yeah.
And then I sent an email, and then I heard back, and these people were like, it was in November.
Okay.
They were like, we're doing a Thanksgiving basket assembly.
Okay.
meet us at the Stop and Shop on Atwood Avenue at 6:30 in the morning on this random Tuesday. It was like the Tuesday before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And I was like, who are these people? Like 6:30 in the morning on the Tuesday before Thanksgiving putting baskets together. I was like, I got to check this out.
Yeah, I got to check this out. I'm in.
So I showed up and I was greeted with the most warm welcome by mostly older people.
Okay.
There was like, everyone was pretty much like ages 40 up.
Okay.
But I felt the vibes.
Yeah.
I was like, these are my people. Like, who gets out of bed at 6:30 on a Tuesday to go package Thanksgiving baskets for local families in need? We packaged like 125 baskets that day.
That is amazing.
No small feat.
That is amazing.
And then after that, I said, yeah, this is where I'm gonna stay.
Wow, that's so cool. So that got you started, and then
that got me started.
Then you became the president. So that must be fun.
That was a short turnaround, too.
Yes.
It was 2019 that I found the Cranston Rotary Club.
Okay.
And then I started my presidency in 2022.
Wow, congrats.
So normally you're supposed to be a member for a lot longer than that, but they liked my enthusiasm, they liked the energy that I brought to the club, and they were like, would you consider possibly being club president? And I said, what does that entail? And then, you start asking questions, and the mission is so big, and you're connected to so many people locally and globally. I was just like, I can't say no.
Yeah.
It's all about service above self. And we do 2-year terms, so I'm president throughout 2024.
Okay, cool. So nice. So great to see you doing your thing and just blossoming into being this person who is never afraid to say no, even though you might have to get up at 6:30 a.m. and go put together those baskets. But on the other side of that is a ton of families who will get to enjoy a Thanksgiving dinner. So thank you for doing things like that. We've talked about your volunteering work. We've talked about your college experience and you working at Mastery Martial Arts. I want to jump to Rhody Adventures.
Yes.
Yeah, that's something that I've seen from its inception, I feel like. And now it's just become this huge, I'd say, platform that people can go to and check out the cool things that are going on in Rhode Island. For those who aren't familiar, can you tell people what Rhody Adventures are?
Yes.
Okay.
It's my personal blog on Instagram. I also have a Facebook page and a TikTok. Don't really use those that much, but Instagram's where it's at.
Yeah.
So if you're on the gram, you can come check it out.
Yep.
And Rhody Adventures was a place for me to share the things that I love about Rhode Island, old favorites and new finds. And I try to keep it all-encompassing. So it's not just food content or drinks. It's things you can do in nature, because our state has beautiful beaches and beautiful trails and sights to see, whether it's experiences, activities you can do by yourself or with a loved one or with family or with friends, date experiences, local activities and events going on. There's so much. I try to squeeze it all in,
which is
there's
great.
A lot of love for Little Rhody.
Yeah, there is a lot of love for Little Rhody, and we do have a lot of hidden gems, many of which you've probably came across. Now, I'm curious, through all of your experiences, has there been a place that you'd say is your favorite? It's hard to say, I imagine, because there's so many. Like, would you say going down to Narragansett Beach during the summer is something that you really enjoy, or a specific hiking trail and a scenic area of that hiking trail that you really enjoy, or a specific place to go on a Friday night, things like that?
It definitely would depend on the specifics.
That's right.
Like if we're talking, what season is it?
Yeah.
Is this a morning adventure, an afternoon adventure, a nighttime adventure?
Well.
Is this the week? Is it the weekend?
Yeah, that's right.
I think if I had to pick a favorite thing or place to be, it would definitely be Providence.
Ooh.
I love the city so much.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I love our beaches.
I was going to say the beach.
We have some beautiful trails, but there's just something so magical about the city, and that every time I come here, I meet new people, I see new things, I notice new things. There's constant changes going on, and there's a lot of history here. It's just a lot of magic.
There is. Even tonight, you mentioned something to me that I wasn't aware of, which is what happens on the Providence pedestrian bridge on Tuesdays. What's the name of it?
I was walking here and I heard the beat of the drums.
Okay.
The Providence Drum Troupe, amazing group. If you've never seen them perform, definitely check out their page on Instagram.
Yeah.
I believe it's every Tuesday night, do pop-up performances at the pedestrian bridge in Providence.
Interesting. Super cool. I have to check that out. I mean, me being here, I'm a couple minutes away, so I'll have to make the walk over. Now, as you've grown your following, have you had any interactions with any of your followers and maybe collaborated with anybody or anything like that?
Tons.
Tons.
The list is huge.
Oh, wow. Really? Are there any memorable experiences that you've had through doing that?
Oh gosh, where do I start? And by list, there are no numbers. Every
Yes,
connection and
yes.
interaction is very important, and I love you all dearly if you're watching this right now.
That's right.
I've met so many cool people through the Instagram page of Rhody Adventures. Some that I haven't actually met in person yet.
Okay.
Some that I've only chatted with online.
Yeah.
And then there's other people, like I've collaborated with a lot of local foodies.
Oh, nice.
And I love my foodie crew. Yeah,
Me too.
There's so much good food in Rhode Island.
Guys.
I'll throw out a couple names out there that I've collaborated with recently. Shut Up Camilla, Tasting Rhode Island, Boozy Bitches,
Yep.
Two Hungry Bitches.
Hey, two of them.
Right, two of them. Our friend Jay Cass on Instagram, Amp Eats, Heather Lives Gluten Free, Rhode Island Native. We've done quite a few collabs together, and
super cool.
It's always a blast every time we can just get together, and we're all normal people. Like,
that's right.
Sometimes you see our page on Instagram and they're like, oh my gosh, and I fangirl too, by the way.
That's good.
I'll
should.
see them and I'll be like, oh my gosh,
It's you.
It's you. You're a real person.
Yeah.
But if you ever see me in public, please come and say hi.
Honestly.
Because I'm just a normal human with an Instagram blog.
Literally, and she's very nice, so please say hi to her.
Thank you. Maybe I'll even have a gift to give you too.
Ooh, look at that.
I always keep little gifts with me.
For me, I mean, she brought me this board to break, which you guys saw, so that was pretty neat. Oh, that's really, really cool. Now, just looking forward to the future with Rhody Adventures being something that you're engaging with, is there anything that excites you about the future of Rhody Adventures and where you could possibly see it going?
The whole reason I started the page was to inspire others to find the magic in our state. Because I feel like there's this perception of Rhode Island where, you grow up here, you live here, you don't leave, you stay in your town, and you never really try to go and experience new things.
Yeah.
So I don't exactly have a vision for what the page looks like in the future. Maybe I should spend some more time manifesting that.
No.
But I would love to just see it grow and be an even bigger, more easy, user-friendly resource to have people come to where they can say, I want to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And they can come to my page and feel safe and feel happy reaching out and included, and, where they can find something new and fun to do in Rhode Island and maybe open your mind about how beautiful our little state is. And although we may be the smallest, we have big opportunities in Rhode Island.
That we do. That we do. So let's bring it home. I have a couple silly questions to ask you.
I love silly questions.
You're good with silly questions? Silly question number one.
Okay, hit me with it.
If you could have dinner with any historical figure, who would it be and why?
Ooh. Dinner with any historical figure.
Yeah.
I'd obviously have to pick a place in Rhode Island to take them to.
Come on.
Right?
Rhody Adventures.
Historical figure. Me not being a huge history buff.
Neither am I.
My brain is being
challenged right now.
Yeah, I gotta dig way back in the archives.
Honestly, if I was asked this question, I might not know who to say.
Maybe. I can't think of anyone specifically a name, but maybe Egyptian royalty.
Ooh.
I would love to take a pharaoh out to dinner.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
I can't think of one in specific that I would.
King Tut.
I would
maybe.
Yeah, we'll go with King Tut.
King Tut.
But to be able to learn about, what it was like back then, how did the pyramids come to be?
Thank you. Well, that leads me into my second question.
Okay.
All right, and maybe this is,
Maybe this was meant to be.
This could be a conspiracy as well, and I don't know the answers, obviously. But if aliens were to touch down on Earth, what's the first thing you would ask them?
If aliens were to touch down on Earth, what if they're already here?
Ooh. What if I'm an alien?
What? Pause.
Pause. Oh, that's funny.
My senses are tingling.
Honestly, though.
But, I would just ask them, where have you been all this time?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Why now? Why today? Why are you
now?
here? Have
Yeah.
you been here all along?
Wait, that's like 4 questions.
Right. But it's like all kind of wrapped into one.
That's fair. And my last silly question is, if you were granted a superpower for a day, what would you choose and what would you do with it?
Superpower. I love to travel.
Okay.
As much as I love Rhode Island, I think I would love to have the ability to teleport, like the snap of a finger. Just say, I want to go to Europe. I want to go to Africa.
Yep.
I want to go to Australia.
Yeah.
And just like snap my fingers and go.
Australia, though, the spiders, like, they're like huge.
I know.
You would still go?
I've seen pictures of them.
Holy moly.
I still need to experience Australia, though.
That's fair. That's fair. The down under.
The down under.
All right. Well, thanks for talking about what you do over at Rhody Adventures, Mastery Martial Arts, the Rhode Island Country Club, the Cranston Rotary Club.
Bingo.
Yes, all the volunteering work that you do. I'm curious, in your free time, what do you enjoy?
Ooh. Free time for me is, define free time. Like, I pack my schedule so much with people and things and work and events, and I guess that's technically my free time. Although it's booked, it's my choice.
Yeah.
I love to spend time with family and friends. I value relationships and connection a lot. So if I'm not hanging out with my family, I'm with my best friends. And I love to go out dancing.
Oh, that's fun.
I like to eat.
Yes.
I love to create. So sometimes I'll just chill out and draw or paint or do some crafty fun in my free time. I like to go to shows and see live music. Love concerts.
Oh, yeah.
So much.
Raves? Sounds like too.
And raves, too.
Raves?
I love to dance.
That's cool.
The EDM community is so lovely. Plur. Plur, baby, plur.
Plur? Yes.
Do you know what that means?
I don't.
I'm going to teach Ollie something new.
What's plur? Is that an acronym for something? Or?
It is.
Okay.
Plur stands for peace.
Okay, peace.
Love.
Love.
Unity. And respect.
And respect. Okay, well, guys,
it's a great community.
If you take anything away from this podcast episode, you now know what plur means.
Right.
I didn't know prior, so thank you for educating me.
Anytime.
Wow. Now, I'm just curious about a couple last questions for us to close out here. When you look back on your life and the things you've done, has it been a resource or a mantra or a role model, someone who's really inspired you and kept you going?
It's a loaded question.
It is.
Like a loaded baked potato.
Ooh, that sounds kind of bomb.
I could go for a loaded baked potato.
I could go for one too.
The sour cream and little bacon bits and
just throw it
chives
all on
there. Top.
Just throw it all on there.
So good. Extra butter.
Oof. Extra. Take your time.
I think mindset wise, I'm gonna loop this back to Mastery Martial Arts. We have a mantra that we say in class. One of them. We have a lot of them. Yes, I can. Short and sweet, but the reminder to yourself that if you set your mind to it, and as long as you don't give up, then you can accomplish it, no matter how hard things get.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. That's so true, too. So thank you for embodying that and also just passing that forward for children to learn and adopt. Now, say there's someone who's listened to this entire episode. They think to themselves, Stephanie Lemoi, really cool person. She's done a lot. She books herself with endless amounts of events and things to do, which is great. But maybe I want to be like her, and I want to start engaging with more volunteer work. I want to engage with teaching. I want to be somebody who works in the community. What advice would you give to that person?
Just take the first step. Less thinking, more doing. And don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone and try new things. If you need a helping hand, you can reach out to me. I'd be happy to help. I'm a friend to all. And, you'll make new friends along the way. So just take that first step and don't think about what could go wrong. Think about what could go right.
I love that. Well, with that, this has been a blast. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for taking the time to sit down with us. I'm looking forward to seeing your future and all the great things you'll do. Guys, this episode was a ton of fun. If you aren't following the Rhody Adventures Instagram account, I'm going to place it right here so you can go there and check them out. Check out Stephanie's website. Stay in tune with all the great things she's doing, and we'll see you on the next one.
Woohoo! Thanks, Ollie.
Thank you.